PRODOCS, Project Document Management and Hold Management System. Now, a product overview. PRODOCS and PROHOLD is a system for electronic document lifecycle management, document indexing, tracking, process, and workflow automation other than version control and archiving, user dashboard, document interface, and security. It is all it is also a system for drawing and document hold management, discipline wise, history, reason for the holds, time taken for removal holds, delay analysis, ready reckoner, and all the process will save time and cost of the projects. Here I am giving the brief concept through this skeleton diagram. This system is capturing any type of documents such as office tools, media files, or imaging files like PDF or DW through any forms like scanning machines, email, or internal data drive. Once these documents capture, it will be stored and managed within the application. The management will be done with the metadata capturing provision, and once this folder is archived within the application, then it will become easy for our efficient searching tools, basic and advanced search tools, or NLP level tools. Further, these documents assigned to the workflow for various levels of approval purposes, and the approve and non-approve documents can be shared via emailing feature or through the displaying in the reports and dashboard formats, and can be accessed through any type of machine like computer, mobile, tablet, and etc. So let's see what are we are doing through the today's presentation. So here I'm highlighting the key task summary, define projects, folders, files, and settings. Particular organization may be handling multiple projects, so creating project description with respect to the project's requirement, defining the folder structure, and uploading the files, are providing settings such as column settings, notification settings, and miscellaneous setting. Next is file detailing with metadata and versions. Once we have file with us, we can define the additional attributes like file discipline, unit number, originator, revision numbers, document number, and title. Schedule completion date, defining the critical nature of the documents, hold and unhold categories done over here. Define the categories and allocating the various types of text, which will be easy for the searching options. Next is file editing and locking for multi-editing. Once we receive the documents, user may need to requirements the edit and provide the comments. So here we have provided the options for file check and checkout. Prevention is ensured over here to edit metadata and addition of the new version. Adding or editing the redlining comments until the file is unlocked or checked out. So other user will be have preventing notification that the file is in editing mode. So another important is the workflow approval. So that user management is essential. So creating user assignment to the projects, groups, workflow, and providing them the access control. And next is the file workflow and the approvals. Workflow creation has both options such as parallel and serial. In serial, multiple people of the multiple discipline can be added, and in serial it will flow into the straight files. Files assignment to the vertical flow, approval and rejection process with the remarks. Next is a file sharing and transmittal management. Share the files to the individuals or to the groups of or group or public with or without applying expiring dates, and send the reminders, and also we can create the transmittals in and out. Next is the track and search. Search is a term as context of the file name, folder name, metadata within or across the folder, or search by files types and the using date range. These are the advanced options are available here. OCR language support is also available. And the next is dashboard and the report. And once everything is set up, we will be interested to view into the progress through the dashboards and the reports. Overall organization and individual project dashboard, separate visuals and reports for progress about the documents uploaded, approved, hold, work groups, scopes, and other visuals. All these are managed into the dashboards and the reports. Now I will walk through the concepts. First is the define projects, folders, files, and settings. Organization has a multiple number of projects, so every project has its own folder structure. In this case, the project one can be loaded with the file file and folders. These two are the common options such as folders, create and upload, or upload the individual or bunch of the files. Apart from this, the two conventional input, one special input taken over here, that is master file. In master file, first is DCI, document control index. DCI is like engineering document where engineering companies are providing index first and physical attachment for copies of drawing the later stages in the form of plot. In DCI, we can upload it through the file type called as Excel, and once we receive the attachments from the later days or through the lots, after those attachments also can be uploaded at a later moment. An intelligent association is taken care over here. That attachment file will directly be associated with the document name available through this document control index. Another type of the master is MDR file. File is MDR. MDR is a similar nature of the DCI, but some additional attributes are taken care of over here with respect to the specialization of the projects or the discipline requirements. And the third type of the input is PROHOLD integrated apps such as EPMO, end-to-end project management suite, EPC Proma, other modules of the ProApps, ProCharge, ProSap. All these other modules of the documents also be the managed through the documents and the PROHOLD system. Now the settings. All the settings are commonly available such as project master settings as per the user requirements, notification settings and other miscellaneous settings. Now masters and settings. There are three types of master such as project master, document master, master of deliverable and the settings. In project master, two nodes are available here which are the project WBS master and the stakeholder master. In project WBS master, all the WBS activities are listed down. In stakeholder master, the list of the stakeholder is listed down. Next is the document master. In document master, there are five nodes are available: approval code master, workflow metrics master, class master, revision master, and version master. In approval code master, we can define the various types of the codes for the approval. In workflow metrics master, we can define the various types of the code for approval against the stakeholders. In class master, we can define the class codes, as well as in revision and version master, we can define the revision numbers and version numbers for the documents. Next is the settings. In setting, we have the two types of settings like transmittal and corresponding settings, in which we create the trans in and trans out for the transmittals and later in and later out for the correspondence for each individual stakeholder. In master deliverable, we can define the MDR register and MDR reports for any particular projects belonging to the organization. Now how we can show the actual masters are working in our system. Here I'm selecting the 9 dots and project. Now here is the master, our masters are available. Now I'm selecting the project master and project WBS master. Here you can see the WBS labels, WBS ID, WBS names, which are the listed down here. Now later we are going repairing stakeholder master. Here we can see the OBS names, agency type, agency code, agency address, agency contact numbers, agency fax numbers, agency email ID, logo, attention name, and actions. We can find each and individual agency details are here. I'm going to the document masters. Here I'm selecting the approval code master. Here you can see the approval codes of various types of approval codes, system defined approval status and user defined approval status. Now I'm going to the workflow metrics. You can see here the approval status, transmitter stakeholder type, and trans in and trans out. Here we are generating one approval status. I'm selecting the one approval status, approve with comments against the client corporation limited, and here I'm selecting transin. And now let's see, we have created one workflow metric status. Now I'm going to the class master. Here we can see the class codes and class description, various types of. Now I'm going to the revision master. Here we can see the revision numbers and revision sequence. Example R0, R1, R2, R3. Next is version master. Here we can see the various steps of the version and version sequence number. Now next is the transmittal setting. Here you can see the transmitter types, stakeholders, stakeholder type, stakeholder code, prefix, start number, suffix, delimiter, and preview, which you are creating the transmittals. Here I have selected transout, MS Supreme Construction Limited, contractual, and the stakeholder code SCL, prefix TO, start number 1001, and delimiter is dash. Now you can see the preview. Now next is our correspondence settings. I'm selecting correspondence settings, and here you can see the one's correspondence is already created here. Now the next is the file metadata and the versions. Particular file have the various data creation provision, and this further data will be utilized for screening purpose through the reports and search operations. Now what kind of data we are defining? Let's see. Document name, document ID number, document number, drawing and document title, document description, WBS name is also here, isometrics, document value, WBS ID, class code, class descriptions, document type, revision numbers, sheets, last revision numbers, last revision date, last transmittal number, last transmittal date, last transmittal type, and which is the approval status, approved or non-approved, a document available with an originator. We are also providing the target dates for the approval completion purpose, and once approval is completing, then actual complete date is also defined. Defining here the natural criticality of the document, holding and unholding provision of the documents, defining the remarks of the hold and other remarks. We can also allocate the tag to tag to these documents and other documents with this feature of the any particular file. Which workflow is assigned to the particular documents? For example, PD1001 mechanical group will be take care of these documents. You can see here the workflow details also, usernames, weightages, revision number, approval code status, approval or disapproval on which date, remarks and attachments. And next is the which revision and version is assigned to this particular documents is also you can get, and also you can get the revision and version details such as version by, version number, and the version date, etc. File editing and the redlining. To edit, modify, and the drawing file as well as the comments on the drawings with redlining commented by the reviewers and the approval, this tool will be utilized for the redlining comments on the graphics of the 2D. Here we can put text which comment we want to put. We can also enclose this comment which parameters is marked with the redlining in the cloud. You can also create the stands such as provided and non approved for any particular file, and there are one other feature is available which is multi-user commenting. With the help of this feature, multiple users can be comment on any particular file. Here we can also see the how the file editing feature is actual working. Here I'm selecting the folder in the system. Here multiple files are uploaded. Here I'm on select file and select the review. The file is open in 2D format. Here I'm taking the zoom in. Now we want this 1260 dimension is we want to update. So here I'm selecting text and shapes. I've selected a cloudy shape and mark this dimension as in cloud shape. Now I'm editing them and I'm texting here update the dimension 1360 mm, and you can also give the color and text size. You can update the text size also, and the color codes also. Now I'm giving the shape to this comments. I'm selecting here. Now it's a cloudy shape, but I want to select the solid shape, so I'm selecting the solid. Now you can enclose with the arrow with with these dimensions which you want to update. Now it's selected. Now here you can also insert the stamps like approved, completed, confidential, departmental, experiment, expired, for comment, for public release, information only, not approved. Here I am selecting the one stamp. I selected the draft stamp. Here I am selecting the one attachment, but and here we are also add the multiple user comment feature. Yeah, I'm select, and here the other guest is also commenting here. For the document annexure 1 and save. Here also you can add the signatures, which user have updated these files and which you have to update approve. Here I am adding the signature. You can also give them strokes like size and etc. Here I am putting the signature at the which position I have to update it. And now I am selecting the view, and I have to download this updated file. Now we can see the file is downloaded, and we can see the updated data here. Now the next is the user management workflow and the approvals. Now we are both parallel and serial levels of the approvals workflow are managed. For example, this is an organization A, and it has vertical discipline, mechanical, electrical, and instrumentation. These three disciplines, vertical, have three stages. The approval stages of the approvals like evaluation, reviewing, and approving. So the document may need to be flown in from single vertical, from mechanical evaluator to the reviewer and to the approver. Some document types such as process flow diagrams may need to be reviewed by the other disciplines in middle vertical. In this case, maybe the mechanical guy evaluate the drawings and he will follow the flow for the reviews done by all mechanical, electrical, and instrumental purposes. And once the reviews done by all three individuals, then it will go ahead for the upper vertical approving purpose. On the right hand side, we can see user database and workflow approval groups. Here three examples are shown. In this way, we can define the individual workflow groups or groups like here 1% to 3%, 3% to 1%. Here the bottom one is the evaluator, middle three are the reviewers from which discipline, and top one is the approver. This relationship also can be defined as 1% to 2% and 2% to 1% and 1% to 1% and in the single flow. Next is a user management workflow and approvals content. Like it's a example. This is an example how we are defining the workflow. We are showing the individual group in example. In this individual group, piping ISO is my top group. This piping ISO is containing these many employees and many users. We are assigning them to the workflow applying hierarchy and defining their percentage like 50, 80, and 100. 50 is for checker, 80 is for reviewer, and 100 is for the approver. We can define the color codes, what color codes I should apply. So by the visualization, also the any viewer can come to the know and active stages of the file. As per the individuals, we can also define here the group like this. We have groups like piping G1, all disciplines, and piping G2. Piping G1 have these two employees or more than the two employees. All disciplines will have that employees belongs to the other discipline as well. And the core group is my piping. That's why my approving guy is also from the piping. Here I can put the check boxes which user's response is mandatory. He must submit its response. Here we can see the user management in actuals, how it working through the video. Here I'm selecting the groups. Here already some groups are created, so we can only see isometric checkers. In isometric checker, here Ashutosh K and Rahul as employee, and Ashutosh K is a mandatory employee. Second is isometric reviewer. In isometric reviewer, Sachin S and Ravi K are the employee. So, third is isometric approver. In isometric approver, Nirmal Jashan and the Bhagya Shah are the employees. Next is I'm selecting the workflows. In workflow, here we can see the here three workflows are created, and first the isometrics process and the piping A. I'm selecting the piping as isometrics here. In isometric group, in isometric workflow, isometric checkers, isometric reviewers, and isometric approvers are available. In isometric checkers, Ashutosh K and Rahul has other employed, and their weightages are 40, and we also apply the color is blue. And second is the isometric reviewers. In isometric reviewers, Sachin S and Ravi K are the employers that, and their weightages are 80%, and here is the Sachin as is the mandatory employee, which response is mandatory. And third is the isometric approvers. In isometric approvals, Nirmal Jason and Bhagya Shah are the employees in which Nirmal Jason's approval is mandatory and their weightage is 100%. Next is process. In process, this is an individual group. Sachin S, Bhagya Shah, Nirmal Jason are the employees. Third is the piping A, which is a group workflow in which you can see checker 1, checker 2, reviewers and the approvers have the various types of the employee, and we have also here defined their weightages also. Now I'm going to and one selecting the folder, and in select you can see the I'm selecting the piping CDU folder, and here I'm modifying and allocating them the workflow and the employees. Here I'm selecting the isometric workflow, and also we are selecting the employees Nirmal Shah, Nirmal Jason, Bhagya Shah, Sachin S, Ravi K, and OK. Here we have to assign the group workflow to the piping CDU folder. Here we can see the pipe isometric checker group is highlighted, which is the active stage. Here we can see also, now I'm selecting one folder, DHDT. In DHDT, I'm selecting the isometrics. Here you can see the multiple files are uploaded. In isometric checker groups, there are pending files are 10 and completed files are 16. So I'm selecting any one file, and I'm selecting approve. Again, I'm providing the approve date, and also the providing the comment, which is checked, and I'm selecting the OK. Here you can also provide the transmittal numbers, transmittal date, transmittal document, schedule completion date, duration date, and the approval delay reasons. Do you want to really approve? Yes, we can get message, and yes. Now I'm in the isometric reviewer group. Here is the pending files are 6 and completed files are 9. Here I'm selecting one file and we will getting approved. Here I'm providing the approved date, as well as we are done in the isometric checker group. Here I'm commenting, reviewed, and OK. Also we get the message, do you want to really approve file? And then yes. Now I'm in the isometric approvers stage. Here the pending files are 4 and completed files are 6. Here you can see also the final approval status. Some files are pending, some files are disapproved, and you can also see the workflow isometrics. And you can also find active workflow stages. Some files have isometric reviewers, some files have isometric approvals, and some files have isometric checkers. Here I'm selecting one file and setting approve, selecting the approval date. Here I'm commenting it as approved and okay. And the file is approved. Here you can see the pending file as the numbers are decreased, and here the status is approved. Here we can see the one is the graph is available here. You can see here both both is commuter schedule and commuter actuals are curves are available here. We can this is the show the uploaded documents as the month wise. We can see the both at multiple times, and we can see the one curve as curve at one time. It is a cumulative actual S curves, and both curves are available. Now the next is the transmittal workflow and the approval codes. Here's a flow chart for the transmittals flow, and here some the approval status and the transmitter stakeholder types and the transient out at the left hand side. Here I'm suppose one consultants and subcontractors have the drawings are uploaded. They have sent clients to the for the approval purpose in the transient type, and suppose the client said some documents have approved or non approved. Client is suppose some documents are approved, so we'll resend as a transient type with the approval codes for approval, AFC, rejected, status code 4, and status code and another customized status. And also they can, if the some documents are non-approved, so also they can also repeat the retain these documents as a approval with approval codes to the contractor and the consultant subcontractor. Here we can see the how the transmittal workflow is working in the actual system. Here I'm selecting one folder. In folder there you can see the files are uploaded, and you can see the drawing titles, revision number, schedule completion dates. Here I'm selecting the 4 files for the transmittal out, and I'm selecting the transmittal out button. Here we are providing the data, the status, transmittal to which agency I have to send it, and transmittal out number, transmittal out date. A stakeholder code also be fetched from the masters. Here you can we can also provide the notes for the uh, for the agencies. Here I am providing the note. Kindly check these documents, these files, and provide the comments. Here you can also get the recipient details. In here I'm providing the attention as a email ID, email address, molk@parascat.com. Here I'm selecting the status code for approval. You can apply for all, and by selecting the all files. Here I applied for status code for the all, and now I'm sending the transmittal. Now you can find the this report in the report form, in the report 9 dots in the report, and as a transmittal report. Here you can see the various types of the transmitter reports are created. We we have created a 2SL101 report. Here you can also download it in the zip format. I'm opening it, and we are extracting here. You can see the report is in the PDF format. Here's the report is, you can see the transmittal report. Here we can see the which agency we have to select it as a MS Supreme Construction Limited, and the various types of codes. Here we have to apply the codes for approval. So you can see in the lower side, these are document number and codes which have to apply it. It's a whole format of the report. And here you can also you can also find the files which against we have to create the transmittals. There are four files which for which we have to make the transmittals. Now the next is the file sharing. We have understood each individual file can be shared once it is approved, or there could be some files where approval is rarely not to be necessary, but it is needed to share for the other reason. So file share can be option employ here. Sharing have a very natural typical interface. So here we are defining the recipient details if we need to send to individual group or group of people. So all these groups and employees are available in the user database and group database. It will fetch over here. We can control the nature of the operation for accessing the of this link, like preview, download, and edit only. So we can control here what recipient should take the action on this received link. Next, Next, we can apply here the expiration date and on a specific after crossing the specific calendar date. This link will become inaccessible. Subject matter is all built automatically. It can also be editable. Draft is also built automatically, and it can be also predefined as per the necessity of the requirement. Or the draft further can be edited with document editor. So this file sharing. So this is the file sharing option. The next is a track and search. Here basically there are three kinds of the searches are available. Very basic search. In this we can simply put the search term and any relevant content belonging to the specific open grid or the specific open page will get filtered down and the result will pop up. In advanced search a greater number of the attributes are employed and controlled. For example, we are searching term called phase 3 and we are providing another optional input folder name from from DHDT. From this drop down, all these unique folder will be available. We can also apply the date range from what date and time to what date and time. If we required, we can also apply the file extension. Additional filter we can control over here, such as file name, folder name, content, metadata. And next is the natural language processing search, which is the becoming popular in the today's world. So human voice can be provided and the system will provide the recognition and the display results in the form of displaying read dashboard for the reports. This is the natural language processing tools. Now we can see, now we are seeing the how the advanced search is actual working in the work. I'm selecting the advanced search filter. Now I'm selecting the one file, and we can select also a folder, and I'm taking the file extension and the advanced filter all. Now I'm applying it, and here you can get the message success, one record is found. I'm closing to this, and you can see the file is founded and we can download it also. Now next is the PROHOLD, project hold and document hold. Whenever the whole topic is coming into the discipline or into the project, the various topics are started between the each and individual stakeholders, such as what are the reasons for the hold, what is the hold category, whether it is critical or not, what activities are affected, is there any target decided for the removal, is there any suggestion of advice to minimize the holds, and source of the holds be from the engineering, procurement, or construction, or the other disciplines. So how to tackle this hold now, we can see in the next slide. Brief about the PROHOLD. PROHOLD provides the very facility to manage hold in the project and effectively address the hold based on the followings. What we are covering in it are like managing the hold documents, maintaining hold register, associating timelines on hold management, alert triggers to the stakeholders on missing hold resolution milestones, relating teams, stakeholders against each hold point, analyzing impact of the each hold on the project progress against the functional activities, project planning activities ideas, Distribution map of the hold list across the project disciplines or the functions, hold and hold resolution sheet. Now next the PROHOLD details. Here we are defining the standard value master data set for the managing the hold. So these are the pre-master data set can be defined by the product administration. Hold categories such as critical hold or non-critical holds. So other categories suitable to the project requirement. Defining here defining here the whole descriptions. This list could be very long as well. That's why it is provided into the form of the master. So that every user of the every department will not enter manually, and this whole control will be available with the admin. Now second is the hold or on hold detailing for the document. Once the particular file is kept on the hold, here we can define the hold description, hold categories, reason for hold, what kind of activities are going to be affected, like production, supply, transportation activities, etc. Provide the intimation to the action taking groups, set the target actual date for the removal for input response received, define the target actual date for removal, updating the remarks, progressing basis, and provide the supporting attachments if any required. Now here we can also see the PROHOLD is how actually working in our system. Here I am selecting one file and put we can hit modify and I'm putting on hold. Here you can also define the hold remarks and other remarks. Now I'm completing this process, and one file is going for our project hold management, and now I'm selecting the project hold management. Here you can see the masters are available all category on the whole description. Here you can see the whole category, whole subcategory, and the whole numbers, which are the whole critical hold number 1, critical hold number 2, non-critical hold number 1, non-critical hold number 2, and the all number are also available: ch1, ch2, nhch1, and nch2. Next is the whole description. Here you can see the next is the whole description. Here you can see the various types of whole description are available, which are input from the administrators. You can also add the whole description here. Now I'm going to the whole management. Here in details for in detail format, you can see one file which we have to put on the hold. Now I'm adding the whole description here. You can see on clicking of the right click of mouse, we can add in for we can select add, and here we can see the whole details. Here I'm adding one row, and in row we can add the whole description. I'm selecting the whole on isometrics, whole category A, reason for the hold. You can manually input it. Design change and active which activities are affected here. Fabrication activities affected, and action by action taking groups. Piping group is taking action. Target for input as as a date format. I'm selecting the date. Actual date for the input. Target for the removal of holes, on which date we have to remove, and the date of actual date of the removal, and the status of the holes and the remarks. Now I'm saving this. You can see here the whole description are fetched over here. All the details which we have to fill here. Hold on isometrics, fabrication, piping, design change, and dates. Now I'm clicking on the summary. Here you can see the two types of the summary, unit-wise summary and the discipline-wise summary. In unit-wise summary, there are two types of unit, DHT and the TME, and the discipline-wise summary, civil, piping, process, procurement are the various types of the disciplines. You can here see the remove total category A, total category B, total C, total category D, and the remove overall categories, all the various types of the categories. And here you can also see the files counts. Now we are going to forward. Here is the dashboard. This is the fundamental of the products and the PROHOLD system. Now let's see what we are getting into the output in the progress monitoring stage. This is the dashboard. It can be viewed for the individual project level also, individual project level, or also for the project belonging to the organization. Now which are KPI monitoring here? We can see total documents, approved documents, pending approval documents, approval nearing due up to 7 days, approval delay documents, rejected documents, total hold documents, hold removal nearing due to up to 7 days, document nearing detention and up to 15 days, and duplicate days, duplicate documents. And all of this KPI is furthermore evaluated in the individual basis. We can see uploaded documents with the calendar range basis. We can see histogram number telling the total number of the documents uploaded in the system, and the curve is showing the cumulative number of, such as today there are 265 documents are uploaded. So similar to the uploaded reviewed document also available here. Next is the approved documents, uploaded versus reviewed versus approved, rejected document, and hold document. Another important visual is to monitor the group progresses. For example, boiler area group is available here. We can see here so many file types are so many files are pending for the reviewer and approval purposes belong to this boiler area group. And the pie chart is showing us the overall summary, like how many percentage documents are review, pending, and the approval stages. Reports. So all these individuals KPIs are providing us their document details in the form of reports, like uploaded documents, reviewed documents, approved documents, rejected documents, hold documents, pending for approval, approval schedule completion date, and actual completion date. Further, apart from this KPI filters, this grid also can be filter what the numbers are the project. Here we can see the 10 projects are loaded belong to this organization. Now next is highlights. Now very quickly I'm covering the highlights of what we have seen. So PRODOCS and PROHOLD is the document management system. It is taken care of the metadata belonging to the file for the easy searching options and reporting, screening option, document storing, archiving and retrieval, version control, providing the workflow approvals with respect to the individual groups, tracking and searching the file, and hold management. As an organization and as a developer, we understand that every business has its own specific requirement that need to be taken in consideration, and for the reason the system provides a certain levels customizations. Now the key points here: document index is the special type of input we have seen. It is apart from the normal inputs like files and folders. Inputs is available here. Engineering groups, isometric drawings, transmittal, and other special type of document management becomes very easy. Now, next is a document hold management in detail level is available. We can see here which impacts are covering here. Hold impact due to lack of the system. It is practice to write down the hold information on papers, diaries. Hence, the hold becomes difficult to manage it properly, and as a result, work will be suffers. Next, delay impact. There is no history of holds in the project, and that's why the impact on the delay of the project is not getting addressed into any project, into the close out of the project. As a result, there is no learning on this. Suffering continues to the next project as well as uh, we are providing the integration with Piggle progress monitoring and management software modules like EPMO, end-to-end project management suite, APC Pro Man, Pro Apps, APC Pro Ma, etc. is available. This app can be customized without taking much more time. And the cost of our software and the AMC is standard and affordable for each and every organization. Now we are going for the conclusion. I thank to all attendees for attending the Parascat's product into webinar and hope that you all have found the product is useful to implement on your project. Please visit to our website www.parascat.com for more details on the product as well as on product offering by the Parascats. You may also visit to our YouTube channel to know more about product features. That's it for the day. Wish you all the good day ahead. Thank you.